President Bola Tinubu has pledged Nigerians that his administration is not influenced by any interest group. According to the president, there are no cabal or sponsors. Ahead of next week's planned protest by aggrieved Nigerians, Tinubu has met with party governors, traditional and religious leaders at the presidential villa. In the press release by spokesman Ajuri Ngelale, Tinubu highlighted ongoing economic reforms, including social welfare initiatives like student loans and consumer credits. He condemned the protest sponsors while stating his commitment to economic recovery and security improvements. Joining me now to take a look
are fueling planned protests by some aggrieved citizens across Nigeria under the hashtag #EndBadGovernance. These planned demonstrations, which are gaining significant traction on social media, are scheduled to take place in all 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory from the start of next month. Notably, the organizers remain anonymous, with no individual or groups officially claiming responsibility for the movement. But this has got the Nigerian government on its toes. It's been a busy day of meetings here at the presidential villa. President Bola Tinubu has been in back-to-back sessions. First, sitting down with governors from his party, then with traditional rulers from across the country.
For the very first time, the traditional rulers were properly engaged in terms of the plans of government and governance. Their achievements so far and where they're having challenges. It's a very beautiful take home for us because we don't lock our palaces. We are more exposed to the people that we actually rule over, people that are out there to maybe protest. It's their right, civic right. But let them put a face to it and don't let it be hijacked by people that has ulterior motive. That is our stand. We condemn such acts fully. We traditional rulers are not engaged in people, especially the youth, coming out to start looting, to start breaking down law and order.
We will listen to our youth because the leads, the future, the power, the strength of Nigeria is certainly with the young people. We feel your pain. I'm a young person myself. It's been 24 years that I've been back, and it's been 24 years that I've sadly seen the nation going in a very unpalatable direction. But by God's grace, I think if you would give us the chance, this protest, I know that it's catching you very, very high in your neck. But if you give us the chance, let us not destroy our own country. I ask you, think of Libya.
The message we're taking back to our people is to be calm, to exercise patience, and also to listen to the words of wisdom coming from the traditional rulers, from the governors, because we have spoken to the president and he has given us the blueprint of what he has been doing over time. And we're hopeful, that inshallah it will be well.
He then concluded the marathon with ulamas, the Islamic religious leaders.
We have taken up what people are saying about the hardship, the insecurity, and what have you. And alhamdulillah, the president listened to us, so we are appealing to both Nigerians, Muslims and Christians, that they should be patient. Inshallah, a result will come out.
He has told us the effort that his government has been making to ensure that the economy of this country is placed on a very sound footing. He admitted the fact that, or he rather acknowledged the fact that things could be a bit tough now, and he likened it to winning a child, who is being exclusively breastfed. It's tough. He identified with Nigerians and their suffering, and he assured that it is for good. In the interim, he has promised more intervention to, ameliorate the seeming suffering of the people.
With growing public discontent, President Bola Tinubu faces a daunting task of restoring stability and reviving the economy. But his outreach to traditional rulers and religious leaders signal a recognition that their influence and moral authority will be crucial in calming tensions and rallying support for the government's agenda. From the presidential villa, Adesua Omoruan, Arise News.
Joining me now to take a look at the situation in the country is the Catholic Archbishop of Abuja Diocese, His Grace Ignatius Kaigama. Your Grace, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I must begin first of all by saying a very happy birthday to you, because happy birthday in advance. Your birthday is on July 31, am I right?
You're very right.
So happy birthday to you in advance. How will you be celebrating? You'll be 65.
More than that.
Oh, more than that. So let's not talk about the age. I googled it. I saw 65, but you know. So Google
anyway, you are the
wrong.
first to wish me a happy birthday. So I take it on record. You are the first. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
So you watched that short report about the situation in the country. Give us your short reflection about it.
The situation in the country.
Yes, that short report that you just listened to.
Well, I am a priest, and I work a lot with the grassroots. It's almost 5 years since I came to Abuja. By December, I would be 5 years here. And my work has largely been with the people at the grassroots. I do a lot with the people in the city, but mainly I go to the grassroots and I see them. I see their struggles. I feel their struggles and the pains of lack of food and the poverty that dominates their life. I see this and I feel it. So I'm not surprised that there is an outburst of anger. People are just fed up. They cannot go to the farms because there is insecurity. Then the price of things, the prices are just so sky high that what used to be affordable is no longer affordable. A bunch of bananas, you would need to pay 2,500 for just a bunch. So there is great discontent, there is great anger, and there is great hunger. And I hope that something can be done quickly.
And so, by your age, it means that you experienced the Civil War. I would like you to share with us, how do you compare the yesteryears with what we have today in Nigeria?
Well, yesteryears, you would always say the old good days, good old days and so on, but the good old days also had their problems. Every generation has its own problem, and it's a matter of being able to tackle the issues one by one and effectively. When you have good governance, it doesn't matter what generation, what age, you are going to have a good country, you are going to have peace that flows like a river, you are going to have the young people contented and are proud about their country, and they are ready to contribute their quota to national development. So, yesteryears, there were leaders who did their best. Today, there are leaders who can do their best. And we are praying for them and hoping they will just do that best. Their best is not good enough yet. And we hope something can be done. That politics is about development. It's about promoting human welfare. It's about giving hope to the people. Politics should provide good amenities, infrastructure, and what have you. Good governance is all we ask for. So our leaders should take note of this and just provide the good governance needed. There will be food to eat, there will be jobs for the young people, and infrastructure will be available, social amenities will be there. This is all we are asking for. We're not asking for too much. So give us good governance where we shall experience, progress, and development.
So, talking about politics and development, how would you rate President Tinubu's administration just over a year that they have been in office?
Well, I don't want to be dragged into making political judgments, but I can only tell you the effects of the governance that has been on ground, that things are tough and rough. I told you that I identify a lot with the grassroots people. Every day I get letters and emails and text messages from people that I don't even know. They're either looking for jobs, young people. They believe that being in Abuja, I have breakfast with President Tinubu as a bishop. They believe that I just can take my phone and call and say, hey, give this fellow a job. They call, they write. Even as I was coming here, somebody wrote to me to say his wife has a diploma in law and BSc in criminology. Could I just get any of these ministers or senators to give her a job? I said, that is not my work. I am not able because I'm not in government.
Right. You've spoken about generational challenges. You said every generation has its challenges, and that's right. When you were growing up, or when you were much younger, most of our leaders were in their 20s and 30s. Talk about Yakubu Gowon and the rest of them. Today, our generation, do you think they've been given the chance to step up and contribute their own quota to the nation? Or do you think there's a lot of suppression, not enough room given to these people to be groomed and to be given the opportunities to take the mantle of their own generation and do something better?
Grooming is the word. It's not about distributing leadership among the old, the young, and the men and the women. It's the quality of leadership. It's what is leadership in the first place? People who grow up with sufficient patriotism, with spirit of nationalism, people who grow up with good ethical values. This is what we should be targeting. Unfortunately, we don't have this in good numbers. So give leadership to the young or to the old. We're all going in the same direction.
So why don't we have enough of these ethical values, do you think?
That is the problem. People are not listening. We're so self-centered, so egocentric. And that is why corruption seems to flourish, that people cannot be honest, and it is a disease that has crippled this nation. And if we don't take time, we are going to be in serious trouble. Because people should just be honest. People should be patriotic. People should just do their work with the fear of God, and they hope that this work will bring progress to the young people and the nation as a whole.
You made a good point that people do not listen. And so everyone always complains about politicians. You have also been quoted as saying that Nigerian politicians are self-serving. However, they emanate from the people. So doesn't that say something about us as a people?
Yes. It's not only politicians that are self-centered and self-serving. We religious leaders too. We have our own share of the blame, the traditional rulers, and then those in active governance. We have a problem. And I think it's a matter of serious introspection. We need to look into our hearts and critically examine who are we and what do we do? What are our motives? Why are we in the places we are? What can we do better? And things like that. But this lack of critical self-analysis is what generates the corruption. People just contest for positions, aggressively campaigning and generating all kinds of negative issues and all to get to a position where they have access to the national patrimony. They have access to wealth uncontrolled. They can use it anyhow and so on. They don't care about the common good. They don't care about the children growing up. They don't care about the youth in their millions on the streets who should be well looked after. There is no social insurance scheme. If you are sick, you are on your own. If there is somebody who is mental on the street, she is on her own. There is a young person who, has issues, nowhere to go. So I think we need to talk about ethical values, this patriotic spirit that we must all cultivate, which I'm afraid people get into politics and this is absent, and we need to grow.
So how is the church helping with that, building ethical values? And what's the role of religious organizations on that matter?
We do our best. We are religious leaders. I am concerned about things of the spirit. I'm concerned about the soul and values that would enhance a better society and so on. We do the talking, we do the preaching. We don't fail in this, but I'm afraid listening is a problem. And you wonder whether all these people who are in positions of authority listen at all. They're either Muslims or Christians, largely in this nation. And the amount of preaching that goes on, go around and you see the churches in their thousands, go around, you see mosques everywhere. Every morning there are bells ringing, then there is loud calling to prayer. Is it all hypocrisy or what? Is it really genuine? Why does this not translate to effective leadership, good governance, good conduct, honest and very good behavior? Why is it always we separate religion from social issues?
So I was coming to that question. You pastor a diocese, and yes, it is true that on Sundays the churches are full, on Fridays the mosques are full, but it does not necessarily reflect in the behavior of the society. You pastor a diocese, you've seen a lot, or you see a lot on a daily basis. Can you help us understand a little bit why this is the situation? What are you saying?
Well, when people are in church, they are hungry, they have no jobs, they have nobody to listen to them, they have no access to leaders they have elected. You cannot have a composed congregation. They might be physically present, they enjoy the music, they dance and all that. The dancing sometimes is to get rid of the depression that they are undergoing. So they are there, but they are not present. You must eat well. You must have a proper job. When you come to church, you know you go back, you have your lunch, you know you have a job to go to and all that. But these are missing, and you want us to pump moral values into them. You want the religious leaders to work miracles and compulsorily force them to obey the commandments of God. Somebody who is hungry is going to steal. Somebody who has no job is going to do criminal activities.
So this is not peculiar to Nigerians or Africans?
It's human nature. When you are denied basic things of survival, you turn to crime. Criminality will flourish. So do what is right. Give everybody his or her due. That is the definition of justice. Give them their due, and then you see order. The youth will listen to you when you talk. But now you see the youth are all up and they are just ready to fight because they are angry and hungry. So we must not just blame them all the time. Let us blame the leadership. Let's blame the lack of doing the right thing that should guarantee peace and orderliness in the society.
So talking about politicians and self-serving interests, or let's say leadership, have you seen any indications in the past 1 year that anything has changed or it's going to change?
Well, I am only told that things will change. I'm told that what we're experiencing now is temporary. I'm told that to eat a good omelette, you need to break the egg. And we're in the process of breaking the egg. I'm looking forward to the nice omelette. But when will it come? I cannot tell. But right now, I can tell you that I see what the people are going through.
So do you support the planned protests?
Well,
in a few days?
That is, again, not to be categorical. I told you that I prefer a situation where we engage one another, where the leadership and these young people agitating will find a forum for dialogue and proactive measures will be taken. But unfortunately, these are not done. When people get into positions of authority, they are uncontrollable, and they neglect indicators that show there is going to be trouble. There is going to be fire on the mountain. So I am calling for a return to that round table dialogue, that people can anticipate in advance what is wrong. But if you don't listen to these young people, it is too difficult to find somebody to talk to in government. You cannot call a minister now on your telephone. Even as I am a leader of a large religious constituency, I am not able to just pick the phone and say, look, I went to this village, I saw this, I saw that, could you do something? I'm not able to do that.
So you don't think this is a listening government, and it's not this government is not accessible?
Well, they should do more of being available, being accessible, and being engaging. Namely, when they were doing the elections or campaigning for election, they were doing these town hall meetings.
Yes.
So what has happened to that now? Now, it's so difficult when somebody gets elected into position to have access to them. Whereas that town hall strategy is quite wonderful. Meet the people where they are. I told you I go to the villages, I meet the people where they are, and I can tell what they are going through. So our politicians should engage. Even the legislators, why are they here all the time in Abuja? In other places, legislation is a part-time business. You are with the people. You are identifying with the people. When they are hungry, you know it. When they are physically violated by criminals, you know it.
So are you one of those that support the part-time legislature suggestion?
I would absolutely go for that. I was in the UK sometime in the House of Parliament. I engaged a number of them, and I discovered they were coming from different places. I asked a legislator, I said, where is your driver? I said, driver? I take the train. He came to serve me tea and biscuits and so on. I was so surprised. Where is your police? Police protector, security? And he said, for what? See, he goes back to his people after legislative activities, and he's there with them. He only comes when there is need to legislate on particular issues.
So, you know, yesterday we had the Deputy Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu. We spoke about this part-time legislature, and he said, okay, good idea, but no one has come forward, you know, officially to the National Assembly to say this is what Nigerians want to do. Do you think it's something maybe the church, the congregation, a group, you know, around you can put forward?
Well, we all have been talking about cutting down costs.
But we officially we have to put forward that suggestion to the National Assembly. We have to make the move.
Yeah, maybe it's a food for thought. And, you know, but the fact is that governance is very expensive, very costly in Nigeria. You know, people take so much in order to qualify to govern the people. And the poor people suffer because everything goes to those at the leadership position. And I said the costs must be reduced, drastically reduced. Let us make these political offices unattractive. They are so attractive and so lucrative that everybody wants to get there. They are ready to kill, they are ready to, you know, destabilize things and just to get there. And when you get there, you relax. I'm saying there is need to really see politics as for development and governance as enhancing the progress and development of the people and ensuring they are well taken care of. There is a problem.
More often than not, Christians are discouraged from participating in politics. So there's this verse in the Bible that is used to justify it. You are in the world, but you are not of the world. So a lot of them are nonchalant. But when you don't engage, you don't participate, then anybody can be your leader. So is it something you would encourage your congregation to be involved in the politics that runs your country and literally decides your life?
Yes, definitely. We would want everybody to join in. They say man is a political animal. And so even though I'm a religious leader, I am interested in politics because politics shapes what happens to me, what happens to you, what happens to the children, and so on. So I think it's important that people get interested. There was a time when the Catholic Church forbade people from joining politics because it was regarded as dirty and so on. But with the coming of Vatican II, Catholics were encouraged to actively participate in politics and bring in Catholic social values. These values that we are talking about, they are lacking. This is politics without values that we are witnessing. So these values need to be injected into politics and into governance, and we will see a difference.
How does your faith and your spirituality help you understand and unpack this current situation? It's a difficult place to be in Nigeria today.
It is, because yesterday I was coming from somewhere, and after a big ceremony, there was food available, and I could see people of repute, people of integrity, very busy wanting to have this food and so on. I was also going to be given my food. When I saw the need and the want in the people, I said, look, I will leave them to enjoy the food. I will sacrifice. So I got into my car and started coming back to Abuja. I said I would buy some bananas on the road, and that was what I did. I bought bananas and roasted corn. I like corn a lot, and that was, then, do you know how much it cost me? 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira, 2,500 for bananas, 2,500 for corn. Tell me, where will the poor, ordinary Nigerian get money, 5,000 to buy just something like a snack? The prices of things are too bad. I feel it, I see it. I voluntarily join in fasting to identify with the Nigerians that are suffering. People troop to me as if I am a humanitarian worker. I say, I'm a priest. I'm meant to bless you and show you the way to heaven. But they come to me with all kinds of demands. Those wanting offices in government, they feel you can make way for them. Those wanting employment, those wanting all kinds of things from government, they believe we have access. When they see you in the presidency or with a government official, they believe as an archbishop, you should just pick the phone and tell them what they need and they will provide. But it's not the case. So we are hoping things will change for the better. Let those in authority listen to us. Like I said, I have been here for 5 years. A good administration would want to know, what do you find when you go out to the peripheries, to the margins? What do you see? What do you find? They will be curious to know. But I tell you, it's so difficult to get hold of a government official. So difficult.
So you were in Jos before you moved to Abuja. How does that compare? In terms of your experiences, in terms of your pastoring, in terms of your congregation, in terms of the city, everything.
In Jos, I was nearly 20 years in Jos. I remember before that, I've had different experiences. I was in Yola as a priest for many years, then moved to Jalingo as the first bishop, and then I was moved to Jos. In Jos, it was a lovely place to be, very, very nice place. But again, violence and crisis would not allow us to concentrate on doing the right things. We spent our time trying to settle crisis.
Yes, I was going to ask, follow up, how did you manage the turmoil in Jos? Jos has been bleeding for years.
I got very involved and deeply involved, as if I was not a trained peacemaker. I didn't get any training anywhere, but I forced myself to get involved. I had to ask the questions. I had to invite the leaders, ex-governors, ex-military officers. I said, what are you doing? The land is burning. People are dying for no reason. And I was actively involved in that. So you say, what's the difference between there and here? Here, you're in the headquarters, and everybody believes this is where everything exists. And that is why people keep calling me from all states in Nigeria, those who know me. They say, oh, we now have an archbishop, he's our friend, he was our classmate, he was our parish priest, he is our friend, so we can ask him for anything. So they pick the phone and call and send text messages early in the morning. If you read my text messages in the morning, you will shudder, So they believe you have access because they're suffering, you should come to their aid. And I asked them, where are those people you elected? Where are they? Why can't you lay hold of them? And
were they elected or they stole the elections?
The election, whatever you call it, but at least they were sworn in and they took an oath.
Yeah.
And they pledged to serve Nigeria. So in this country, you just take what you get.
Nigerians are very prayerful. And you are in the business of prayer and saving souls.
That's right.
Will prayer solve our problems in Nigeria? After all, the Bible says heaven helps those who help themselves.
Yes.
What is your view on this?
Those who just say they pray and miracles will happen, I think they don't have a balanced spirituality. And it's not you have to walk. God gave us hands to walk, gave us brains to think and to be creative. The doctor must do his work, the engineer must be on the site, the farmer must farm, and all of that. And then you come, after that you pray, you thank God, you beg God for things you need. But not to keep praying, doing night vigils or praying for weeks and so on, not avoiding office hours, and you are spending time at prayer. That one, I don't think God will be happy with that. God wants us to combine both work and prayer, and then things will be balanced.
What's your final message to Nigerians, both Christians and people of other faiths?
We need a country, and we should come together. There is so much division in this country. You just bring up any matter, we are talking about tribe, we are talking about religion, we are talking about who is. Merit is lacking, merit is missing. The young people go for an interview that should recruit maybe 2,000 people. They are already allotted to certain personalities. So the 10,000 youth jogging and writing exams and doing all this are wasting their time. No room for merit. And the need for unity, that we should transcend these ethnic barriers we have erected and religious barriers. For God's sake, people become so sentimental, no matter how highly educated they are. When you bring in issues of religion and tribe, oh my God, people become emotional and become irrational. So I'm saying we should transcend this. Okay. We have come of age. Let's go beyond narrow religious interests and ethnic myopia and bound together as a nation and redeem Nigeria. Nigeria is a gift from God. Right. We should not let it die and waste.
Archbishop Ignatius Kaigama, thank you so much for being with us this evening.
You're welcome, Constance.
Thank you.